Gamertag Radio presents E3 coverage. Hosts Danny Pena, Paris Lilly, and Peter Toledo are direct from the convention center floor.
Get daily interview, roundtable discussion,
all the latest gaming coverage, developer interviews,
the latest news from the crew.
A Gamertag Radio exclusive.
E3 is one of the biggest events for Gamertag Radio, and you don't want to miss this.
E3 coverage starts now.
Hey, it's Paris. I'm at E3 2018. I'm here for a special guest appearance. And the reason that I drove from my job an hour and a half to be here tonight was because I had an appointment at 6 p.m. to see Cyberpunk 2077. I got Danny here. I got Pete here. I got Wayne here. We've all seen the Cyberpunk 2077 demo. Wow. I mean, literally, wow. It's so funny because when I walked out of the demo, Danny, Pete, and Wayne, they had the camera on me to see my reaction as I'm walking out. And the first thing I said was, this was the perfect blend of Blade Runner, Ghost in the Shell, and Cowboy Bebop. That is just simply the way I can explain what I saw of that 50-minute demo for Cyberpunk 2077. To be honest with you, and I know you guys will jump in and we'll discuss this further, but I'm just telling you guys right off the top, as much as I played The Witcher 3, and you know I love The Witcher 3, I jokingly said to these guys, I don't think I want to play The Witcher 3 anymore because I see the potential of knowing this is coming from CD Projekt Red, knowing what they were able to do with The Witcher 3, and knowing that game wasn't perfect, and this is their opportunity to take lessons learned and perfect what they started with The Witcher 3 just has me so excited. Quite honestly, if you're making an open world RPG in the next 2 to 3 years, you might want to rethink your goals. You might want to rethink what you're doing. That's all I'm saying, because this game is going to be amazing. If I personally think it'll come out in 2020. There's no way this makes it in 2019, but let's just say it's out in 2020. You might as well go ahead and give a game of the year now. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. It's wow. I'm gonna stop talking. Pete, Danny, jump in.
I'm going to say something very quick. I think this was one of the best presentations since I started coming here to E3. Hands down, I think the closest one, maybe Halo 2. Back when I got to see that online, not at E3. But yeah, this is by far the best E3 presentation I ever seen. The booth, the whole theme of Cyberpunk 2077. Going inside, I felt like I was at Universal Studios. I had a screen, and right before it started, before we went inside the room, there was the screen was saying no videos, no camera before, like all that, the typical stuff. But it also, it felt like I was part of this world, part of Night City. Even the bar on the side, man, they had, I think, drinks theme as Cyberpunk and everything too. So it was freaking phenomenal, man. I have never seen a presentation like this since I've started coming over here to E3. Now in 13 years, I've never seen this, man. So Pete, I know you have to say a lot of things.
Where do you start, right? From the design elements, the colors, the overall environment. It was more than I expected. I was not expecting what I saw. I came in and I guess hedging my bets on what I was going to see because I didn't want to like get too amped and then get disappointed, which is probably the dumbest thing I've ever said because this is CD Projekt Red. This is 2077. This is what we've been waiting for so long. I know the guys here, we were talking about the interview that we did with CDPR back in 2014. That's 4 years ago. And they're still iterating, still developing on it. It's not vaporware. Like, we saw gameplay. Like, we actually saw gameplay for this. And you guys have said, I think it was the darling of E3. Everybody was slapping best of show and everything else on the inside wall. And I think it's a unanimous slam dunk. I mean, I don't think I could find a part where I was disappointed or I wasn't wowed. I spent more time just like closing my mouth because I was just in shock. Call me a fanboy, say whatever it is you want to say. I'll take it like a man. I don't care. Best game as a preview that I have seen since I started, whether you want to call us bloggers or, media or content creators, best demo presentation and the gameplay. I've said this before about other things. I'd almost pay $50 for that right there when we saw that 50-minute experience that we saw them doing that, them showing this. I would have paid almost full price for that. That's how amazingly immersive it was. And remember, there was a person with a controller playing with us. He was taking damage. It wasn't like he was going through a flawless run. There was parts in there where he almost died. He had to take the inhaler and get his health back up. I was wondering if it was going to be one of those moments where, I died in the demo. That's not supposed to happen. But yeah, completely open world experience. And yeah, they had a set guideline of what they were going to do, but you had the RPG elements with, the dialogue selections that you can choose. I could sit here today. I could tell Wayne's sitting here. He's sitting here just bouncing in his chair. You can hear the squeaks in the background.
It's crazy to me. I mean, this is my first E3. So the first day when I walked into the floor, I was like, holy cow, these people go all out. Like Tomb Raider bought these entire sets. And even before I got here, you guys were like, Cyberpunk. And I was like, what is this game? I don't know anything about this. You guys are like hyping this way too much. I don't even believe it's going to be that good. And then we walk into this room. It's not even a huge set, but as soon as you walk in, you're in Night City. And it looked epic. And then when the game started, I understood. And immediately, it's an amazing game. I agree. I would pay for those 50 minutes to play that too, because there was so much of the game that he was like, oh, you can also do this, this, and that, but we don't have time for that, so we're going to keep going with the mission. And I was like, damn, I want to see all of that. And hands down, I was blown away by everything at E3, but this one blew me away the most. And I cannot wait. I want to live in that world. It's so cool.
The game blew me away so much I had to take all my clothes off. No, but dude, Night City, that's the name of the city?
Yeah, Night City.
This open world that you're in, and I was joking about it, but Rockstar, they're kind of the leads of this kind of genre, right? We know Red Dead 2 is coming out. Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming out. All I kept seeing, because now it's not The Witcher, so it's not like, fairy tale fantasy. It's like they built a realistic, near future Blade Runner type city. And I'm looking at all the little details. That's what got me more than anything. Like at one point, they're in the car and they're driving, and he purposely goes and he just crashes into some trash cans. And he just not, and like the garbage actually is falling out of the trash cans. And when he's doing that, just that little minor detail that you wouldn't even think of, but it's like, wow, this is like a real city. It's like a real place. And then even when he's walking around and just the NPC characters, like it seemed, I know it's not real, but it seemed real. It seemed like they weren't worrying about you. They weren't focused on you. They were going about their daily lives, doing their normal things. Like at one point, I don't know if in the demo you were in, he was showing the one vendor, and like a vendor, like he owned like a store, like a butcher shop or something. And he's flagging, he's like flagging you over, and you keep walking like, and then there's like, basically go F off. Cause I wouldn't give him, I wouldn't pay him any mind. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Just little stuff like that. Yeah. And I don't know. Wow, man. Is like, even when you go see, what is it called? The Ripper Doc, and going through that whole process of getting upgraded, and it was like personalized just for you. It didn't seem like just some scripted thing. Like in my head, I was thinking, okay, I'm doing this enhancement now, but is it going to be exactly the same the next time I go? What happens when I go to a different Ripper Doc? Because remember, they're saying, and this was the normal Ripper Doc, the legal one. There's some illegal ones where you get some military grade stuff. So I'm thinking, oh my God, what is that going to look like when you go do all that stuff? And I love how it wasn't just, hey, I just purchased this and then I go, and then you're on your way. It was like, no, it was this whole process. You get strapped into this machine and you see the enhancements being applied to you, and then he's having you test them out. I'm like, It's those little details, little details. You don't see this in current RPGs. I mean, that's what I mean. That's the thing that CD Projekt Red does that they did with The Witcher 3, that they're taking it to an even a bigger level, is those tiny little small things that there's some artist somewhere in Poland that has slaved on his computer creating all these things that 90% of the people will never see. But it's there, so that if you happen to go in there, it's there. It's not just some pixelated thing sitting on a wall. It's actual real object that you can interact with. And that's look, we ain't even talking about the gunplay, the weapons.
We don't even talk about like the character or none of that.
Yo, when they're just driving in the car, and I love how, I don't know if it was in your demo, at first I thought, oh, the car's only first person, but no, you can pull it back to third person. You can do that. And I love how, did you guys have the random event where, due to consequences of when you took out those guys at the beginning, basically they were coming to get revenge.
Oh yeah,
in the car, and then the shootout and all that, and then boom, you explode, and the one dude, and then did a guy like, you shot one and he fell out of the truck, and you ran him over. Oh,
it was good. It was good.
Oh my god, dude!
Now, I know a lot of people probably are saying, CD Projekt Red, why not third person? I'm used to The Witcher, used to Grand Theft Auto, and all these other games has this open world and it's all third person. I think I'm fine with this game being first person though. I don't see what's the issue. I don't know what.
It was fine.
It was. I think I felt
it's more immersive being first person.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's great, man, that this is first person. And also, let's talk about the creating the character, because a lot of people probably might not know. So you could choose male or female. Yep. For this demo, they created a female. Name is V.
Yep.
Her name is
Haina, yeah, but
nickname is V.
Nickname is V. So I know we have a pamphlet here, right, Paris? What we have there? I know you're looking at it.
No, keep talking. Just keep talking.
So yeah, let's talk about so when she was shooting some of the enemies, there was numbers coming out. Like, it was part of like their health. I mentioned this to Paris, like the way how they were dying. It reminded me of kind of, I don't know if it's like Fallout. Is it Fallout, Paris? I think it reminded me a little bit of Fallout.
Yeah, you're saying the reason you're saying Fallout is because the VATS shows, what you could do damage wise if you hit with crits and stuff like that.
And even kind of the sound when you're shooting at the enemy, it reminded me of that Fallout vibe. But I feel like I think this is just deeper than Fallout, Oblivion, any other game that I play open world. This is like deep, and also reminded me a little bit of Fifth Element. I know you mentioned a little, like anime and everything, right? Fifth Element reminded me a lot too, man. So yeah, it was really cool, man. So should we just talk about the experience of the things that they were showing from the beginning?
Well, let's stick with the character customization, because I want to stick there. There was, you go through not just selecting male, female, you also get to choose attributes, your attributes, strength, dexterity, intelligence, so on. I think there's 5, if I'm not mistaken, there's 5 attributes that you choose from. And then you're not really selecting a class, because that's the one thing in RPGs that most people, and we'll use, The Witcher or something like that, or we'll use something fantasy based, which is, basically what most RPGs are. You're barbarian, you're wizard, you're hunter, etc. If you even want to compare it to Destiny, I mean, you've got your Titans and your Warlocks. You don't have that because they've got a hybrid form of character creation. So you're not pigeonholed into one specific class.
And speaking on that, because I think honestly this was a love letter to Deus Ex. That's another thing that I took from this as far as a video game inspiration, because if you think about Deus Ex, that was the vision of what they wanted to do with it. God, what was that, 15, almost 20 years ago at this point? But the technology simply was not there. And now I think CD Projekt Red is actually able to realize that now. But like you're saying again, with the class creation, there is no class. You're able to basically change up your quote unquote play style on the fly. Whatever suits you best, you can gear your stats towards that. And I'm assuming they're going to borrow a little bit of stuff from The Witcher 3 where you can kind of quote unquote re-roll your stats at a certain point. It might be a penalty for doing it, but we'll see obviously, in the next couple of years, as they reveal more of the game. The other thing with the character thing is just the fact that you also create a backstory for yourself, and depending on what you choose, that will affect how other NPCs interact with you in the game. And, and this isn't a new thing, but obviously, just the not skill tree, but the decision tree, when you have to make certain choices, again, depending on what you say. Because like, again, the I don't know if in your demo where you had to go retrieve the thing, the guy asked you to go retrieve that robot, but didn't give you any money for it. So you basically made a deal with the corporate and with question marks, because that was the thing. You weren't 100% sure if she was or not. So you make that deal to do it, but you could, and she gives you the credits, the $50K, but you could have chose to just keep it. You could have chose a different way. But if you did, now you'd have had the corporation on your ass, potentially. I mean, it's like he was saying, there's so many different, this is straight from The Witcher, because there were so many different changes and options that you can have. And I think they're taking that to even a higher level with Cyberpunk 2077. That's what I think has me excited more than anything, because the great thing about it is my game will be different than yours. Yours will be different than Wayne's and Pete, vice versa. We will all have our own individual stories coming out of that. Plus the fact that you can be a male or a female in this. Now, guarantee you that's going to branch off into other stuff as well. So I want to say I'm speechless, but it's what I was hoping it was going to be. It'd been rumored for the last few years. Finally, they unveiled it. And, you were kind of bringing this up, Danny, because right now, CD Projekt Red does not have a publisher for this game. This is another reason why we know it's not coming out next year. They don't even have a publisher right now. This demo coming to E3, and I don't want to steal your shine because this is what you said, but this demo was very strategic by them to bring it to E3 this year.
Yeah,
because they knew they were sitting on fire. And now they're going to get all their awards. Everyone, and it's just going to be a bidding war to be the publisher for this game.
Because imagine not creating a buzz. You don't create a buzz, and you go to pitch it to a company, to a publisher.
Yeah,
they'll be like, "Okay, we'll see." At least they have an idea. They have an idea about the Cyberpunk because they CD Projekt Red did a presentation and basically broke it down. Maybe showed the demo that they showed us, right? No buzz. So publishers nowadays, I heard they're very even more picky about games. So the only way a publisher, you could get attention from the publisher, is creating a buzz. So, all right, they probably pitched it to a couple of companies, and they went to E3, show it to E3. Actually, no, let's start with the bigger bang. End the show at Xbox press conference. Everybody's like, what? You hear the crowd reaction. Everybody's going crazy. You go, show this behind closed doors, meetings, no film, no audio, nothing, because they wanted to keep it away from that. So the people that got to see it
becomes a legend.
Exact. Everybody's talking about this. Look, I was walking around with the box, the statue they gave us, right? You can ask Wayne, how many people stopped me? And there were even people asking us questions. Is it third person? Is it first person? What is it about? Asking us questions. That's what they want.
Yep.
So by them creating this buzz, after E3, you're going to hear all these publishers going to CD Projekt Red, man.
Two things. First of all, what you're saying, I mean, to put it in real world terms, Cyberpunk 2077 is LeBron right now. They're the ultimate free agent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you think of it that way.
Yeah.
Second thing, I had a conversation with a nameless Xbox employee today while I was waiting in line for something else, and we just so happened to be talking about Cyberpunk, and he mentioned, because he was at the rehearsal for the thing, and they originally had a tagline at the end that it'll be ready out when we're finished with it, or something like that, something kind of snarky. What was the tagline at the end? And they realized, no, take it out, because we don't want to end this hype thing by basically telling people, well, you just shut up and wait. You know what I'm saying?
Smart.
So they took that tagline out. That's why there's no release date, coming soon, none of that on the end of it. It's just ambiguous on when it's out. But I mean, realistically, there's no way this comes out in 2019.
This is what I was about to mention. That if this game comes out, let's say the new Xbox 2020. Let's just
Yeah.
believe. I think it's called Project Scarlet, right?
Yeah.
Let's say the system comes out. Microsoft could do, CD Projekt Red could do this. They could have this game available for the new console, launches, like let's say a launch window, have that available there, and also have it for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, and Xbox One. They could easily do that, or go all out, and only have it for PC and the new next gen console.
They won't do that.
But they want to get money. Well, actually, not them, the publisher.
Yeah, the publisher. But here's my Miss Leo on that.
Oh, okay.
I think it comes out May 2020. Xbox One, PS4, PC, all that. And then they will have the enhanced version when the new Xbox launches in the fall.
That makes more sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. And
Like-
at the May, perfect timing too.
You know what I'm saying? So then by that time, when the new Xbox come out, like let's just look at it this way. The PC version, because you can throw money at the hardware to make it whatever you want, is going to be 4K, HDR, 60 plus frames per second, all this crazy stuff. So you're going to be able to see it on the PC in May, like, oh my God, look how amazing it is. Then the sales pitch at E3 is Scarlet comes out. It'll look just like that on Scarlet too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what
I can
you
see
do.
it. So guys want to continue with
Absolutely.
Yeah, we ain't done.
Absolutely.
we have a long way to go.
One of the things I also want to focus on is do you think that there's going to be multiplayer?
I don't.
hope not.
I don't think so.
I hope not, because again, I got to keep bringing The Witcher into it. It didn't need multiplayer to be the best game of the past generation. You could put it in there, but I would rather CD Projekt Red not waste the resources to try and pigeonhole a multiplayer into this type of game. The best analogy I can put to it is BioShock 2. Remember they had multiplayer in BioShock 2?
I didn't like
Complete waste of time.
it. Horrible.
What if I told you they're already working on it?
And I've seen the rumors and of that. Obviously, they didn't say anything about it in the demo. No. I'm just hoping that the rumor's not true.
So, and the reason I'm bringing it up is because I read on Eurogamer earlier after they did their they have an interview with one of the main developers of the game, or one of the key guys there. And they said that they've been playing with it. It's in research and development in the studio. Right now, their primary focus is on the single player experience of playing it. It's a solo game experience, and they're playing with the option of maybe incorporating it, but that's far down the line. They want to wait until the game is done. If they could do it after the fact,
Yeah, I was going to say they could take the Rockstar model with Grand Theft Auto and you just make the best single player experience you possibly can. And then, or even like Ghost Recon, this is a more recent example of that, where Ghost Recon, they focus on the single player co-op thing, and then they put the multiplayer in later. If they want to do that, I'm fine, but I don't need multiplayer day and date with that. No. I would rather them put all their focus in to making the best Cyberpunk 2077 they can, and then maybe an expansion first. Then we can, you want to play with multiplayer, fine. Because now I'd probably beat it like 3 or 4 times anyway. So whatever, you know?
I mean, multiplayer is kind of questionable to me because I don't know how they would get it done, but I would love it. I don't know how they would do it, but I would love to see everyone else's characters because it's like you said, every decision you make changes so much. So if there was a way that I could like be in the same world with everyone else's character, that would be amazing. But it seems too good to be true. You know what I mean? To me,
Right.
Yeah. But I'm totally okay with that. If it was only single player, that's fine with me. As it is right now, I would have purchased those 50 minutes just because he was walking by NPCs that were having conversations where I was like, hold on, I want to listen to what they're saying. They're saying some interesting stuff.
And that's, again, what I was saying before. It's like, it was like a real world that you just so happened to be in. It wasn't something that revolved around you.
Yeah,
you know?
I really enjoyed that because I felt like I would have spent an hour alone just walking around the city, just looking at all these signs and all these people and listening to what they got to say to each other because it was all so interesting. My jaw was dropped the whole time.
And another thing, because I had mentioned this when we were walking around earlier, this is at the beginning of the game because these
Yeah.
are like low level, like level 3, 5, or whatever. And just even the opening stuff that you're doing, this is like some crap you see at the end of, you know, a major RPG game.
For real.
Like even the part where you get the girl out of the bathtub.
Yeah, that was
And then
serious.
you do the whole credit thing, scanning, and then the medical police, I don't know what the hell you want to call them. Trauma team come
dude.
rolling in and they're like, back up. And you
Yeah.
back up. And if I told you to back up, I'm like, okay.
yeah, for real.
Yeah.
It was so serious.
Yeah. It
was
was really
dope.
dope, man.
Another thing I also liked was that the decisions that you make change the game, but also you can change your attribute points, which makes it different as well. But on top of that, the outfits have different things.
Yes,
so we were
that's
going to
your
do
armor.
that,
Yeah,
that
yes.
underground deal. He was like, we're going to put on this jacket because it gives us street
Yes,
cred.
yes.
And I was like, what? That's
That's
epic.
what I'm saying. The little things. So it's like, and the way that works, because like you said, they also have the attributes. So it's almost like armor or whatever, because it gives you certain
Mm-hmm.
perks and stats or whatever. But maybe you can't wear your best gear
Yeah.
on a certain mission because it makes you stand out.
Exactly.
And now no one trusts you or whatever. And it, you know, so it's like those little things.
Yeah. It reminds me of like, don't wear expensive gear and go to the hood, like wear your chain.
Exactly.
Because people will be like, they're gonna look at you differently, man.
Yeah.
So that I think that's the environment what can happen
Yeah.
in this city if you manage to get like the best gear and stuff, man. So that, wow, it's crazy.
And the other crazy thing is that was a 50-minute gameplay rushing through every single scenario, you know, obviously because, you know, they're pressed for time, so they want to make sure that it fits within a specific time period. You could have sat there and gone through dialogue with these characters and all of the little individual interactions that you had, whether it was with the doc, whether it was with the Militech corporate person, every single one of those one-to-one conversations, you had an opportunity to do things. You know, like you could tell the truth, you could have lied, you could have fudged, but it's little things like that that probably could have been an hour and a half or 2 hours of what we experienced, but because they were pressed for time, they were going to go, no, we're going to have these conversations and say this to get from point A to point B. But similar to what Wayne was saying also earlier is he can wander that city. He can go pick up a hooker. He can go talk to the cops. He can go to the bar. He can go everywhere. He can talk to, and that's where the whole RPG element, where now you're picking up side quests. Next thing you know, 12 hours later, you've deviated from your primary mission. You haven't shaved, you haven't taken a shower, and your family's already looking to divorce you because you haven't paid attention to anybody.
No, but shout out to CD Projekt Red too, because I don't know if you noticed, and I found this out after they showed the trailer. So you know, in the beginning of the trailer, when we were sitting down at the Xbox press conference, there was like codes and all this stuff. And one of those codes, they were basically taking shots at companies that charge us for loot boxes and microtransactions and everything like that. A lot of people didn't notice until maybe, you know, Reddit or one of these sites. They found out and they took a screenshot and it's there available online. You could check it out and stuff. But yeah, so that means no microtransaction, none of that BS that other companies been doing it. And they did a great job with The Witcher. Free content for months. We have an expansion here. We're going to charge this amount. But it was the way how they did it that I feel confident that they're not going to do anything stupid. You know, even if the publisher trying to push that.
Again, they've earned our trust in that way. And that's very key. But kind of going back to what he was saying with like the dialogue tree stuff, like that whole interaction, you know, with the corporation with that lady, and you know, you fudged a little bit saying that you were alone when you knew you weren't. But then that option, and you see it again later, there was an option where dude had the gun in your face where you could have snatched the gun. Yeah. That completely changes everything because now you got to you're in a gunfight. You got to fight your way completely out. It's just, yeah, man.
Yeah, I was going to say every decision they made was not the decision I would make.
Yeah.
And it was still so badass.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn. So that was one thing that had me thinking, I really hope there's multiple save files. Because if not, I'm going to be replaying this game so much. But I could totally see myself doing every possible decision to see how it would be.
But like even when she was with the Ripper Doc and at the end when she got her upgrades and was about to leave and he's watching the fight.
Yeah, exactly.
And she goes back to him and asks him, oh, so what do you think of the fight? And he comments on the fight. And then she just kind of mumbles to herself, always watching those fights, you know. Again, the little details on stuff like that.
And also with the Ripper Doc, right at the end, there was the option of being like, oh, thank you. And then right under it, it was like, you okay? Something seems wrong. And I was like, oh, snap.
There's probably a whole side
That's
quest
some lore right there.
Yeah.
I totally want to know about this guy.
Yeah.
It was sick. And the only, it's not a bad thing that I have to say for the game, but the only negative thing is that I saw all of that amazing content, and now I'm going to be waiting and dreaming about it. I can see myself dreaming tonight, just wishing I was in that world.
Let me tell you a story. Take you back to 2014. Danny, you weren't there. It was Danny. Yeah. Danny and I, basically in that same exact room.
Same thing. With a free beer.
With the beer. Yeah. And we're watching that Witcher 3 demo.
Yep.
And same thing for about 2 years. Sitting there just dreaming about, I can't wait to play this game. I can't wait. I've said it many times. I literally built my gaming PC because of The Witcher 3. And probably 1100s. But build another one probably for Cyberpunk 2077 in 2020. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, that's how impressed I am by that.
Yeah, you know what? It's a strategy, man. Like, I thought about it. You know what it is, dude? Like, when you've been going out to E3 for so long, you learn little things, the way how companies been doing it. Like developers that has no publishers, man. Like, they just want to create a buzz, man. And they did this, like, now thinking about it, Paris, they did the same exact thing with The Witcher, man. Same exact thing. And that's why the conversation we were having a couple of weeks ago that said, yeah, Warner Bros. Has potential, right? But I think they're going to ask for more money, dude. I think they are going to go to the one publisher that has the most money, man.
And look, I'll admit it. You were right on that. You're definitely right, because that absolutely was a straight. And I said 2014 earlier. It was 2013.
2013
was that demo, and the game came out in 2015. I was like 3 years, dude. Oh, 2 years, or 2 years. But yeah, that's exactly what they're doing right now. They've put this out. They basically put out their demo tape and just threw it on the table, and now everyone's scrambling to pick it up and sign them.
Now, what are the chances? Which I know it sounds crazy, but having that game, the trailer available on the Xbox press conference, I know this is a crazy what if, but what if Microsoft? No, I'm dead serious. Like, with the money, they probably will say no because they want everybody to play this game. But that's possible too, because let me tell you, man, the company that has the most money they might do that.
It's already been marketed for multi-platform. They're not.
So that's good. That's good. No, that's good.
I don't want that to happen.
No, hell no, I don't want that either.
Alienating a whole ecosystem.
Of course.
And yes, fine. PlayStation might be the incumbent now because they've got more consoles out there. But you don't want to do that, especially with all the PC players that have been clamoring for this game for so many years.
Yeah. Huh?
It would be Play Anywhere. You'd play it on the PC. But I agree.
It would be a horrible choice.
But no, that'd be a disaster. They wouldn't do
disaster. But yeah, I just want to say, because I don't know, I just brought that whole money thing up, so that's why, just in case. But
it's just and it's funny because people, I've been clowning on Twitter, like tears, like, oh, Cyberpunk, but people ask me, is this better than Witcher? Is this the best game? Don't know. It's just a demo. Who knows? This could all be fake news, and then by the time it comes out, it's completely different.
But it's two different worlds, and I think it's like Nas and Jay-Z. They get better and better and better every time. So remember The Witcher back then, how they used to be, and then they master it, and they found Witcher. They made Witcher 3, and I think the stuff that they learned as a team, as a group of developers, they worked on that game for a long time. They learned from the mistakes behind the scenes, that stuff that we probably won't even know forever. And you know what? They did even better with this game. And the presentation was better. The theme of the booth was better. Everything was better. Look, even pamphlets. Like, right now I have this pamphlet that breaks down the demo. We never had this with The Witcher. Ever that I remember. Do you remember that? Or like,
no.
It's just
again, go back to 2013. Go back 5 years ago when we were in that original demo, and it was like, okay, cool. Because remember, The Witcher people liked it. Witcher 2 people liked it, but it was still, kind of like a cult classic. It wasn't like this top grossing game or anything. So, when they did Witcher 3, it was like, oh, they're trying open world RPG. This is cool. And then we saw the demo, like, oh, okay, wow, this. They were like the spunky underdog, like you're rooting for them. Oh man, I hope this is really good. You know what I mean? Now they've proven themselves, and we were even talking about they're probably had to pause for a picture. They're for sure in the top 3 developers right now in the world, I would say. You know, for me, anyways. And they weren't that 5 years ago. We barely knew who the hell they were. Then that studio's probably tripled in size. I know they even just opened a new studio in Poland outside of their main one. That's just how big they are now. So, I mean, it's exciting because like I said, I've been a fan of them, you know, for a very long time. And this almost just seems like Cyberpunk's going to be their masterpiece. Like the thing that they've perfected the formula of the open world RPG, and they're just going to take it to another level that they're just going to put all these other developers on notice. You know, like I said earlier, you come in with an open world RPG, this is going to wind up being the gold standard moving forward.
All right. I don't remember we talked about this, but here I'm looking at the pamphlet. This is it's pretty cool. So one is, there's cars, there's motorcycles also you could ride. Here it also says V's apartment from the demo is located in a mega building with multiple floors. Each floor is home to many NPCs, secrets, and potential quests.
So in other words,
just in her building.
Exploring her building. Good Lord.
Just in her building alone. We're gonna be there for I thought Witcher 3 was pretty long. Like, I think this is gonna be a long.
This is a 300-hour game,
easy, and that's without the expansions, the DLC, all that stuff, man. So,
I'm there. We're looking at the Cyberpunk Discord. Yeah, I joined it a couple days ago.
Going back to the presentation, when we got into the theater, aside from the fact that the bar and the whole place looked like a club from Night City, and that the little cooler with the drinks had like propaganda for the drinks in the game. When we got into the theater, they had 2 people dressed up like they were from Night City, and they looked like androids, and they had like the paint on their skin and all of that. And I just loved that extra mile that they went, and the jackets lit up, and it looked so futuristic and so cool. And going into E3, all right, call me a kid or a little whatever you want, but I was most excited for Pokemon and Smash Bros. And now I feel like when I walked out of that presentation and they grabbed my video game taste balls and dropped that. They just ripped it down. And I'm like, from this jump, they did not play around at all. Right at the beginning, the cursing, the nudity, the action, it was just, my jaw felt like it unhinged and broke. I was amazed. Yeah.
So here's a question for everybody, and I'll answer my own question. Who are you going to play as, male or female? I think just from the demo, and, you know, shout out to Mass Effect, I think I'm going to roll as a female.
Yeah, same here. And I just love her attitude. I mean, I know it's like that with the male version, but something about it was like, I like this, man.
Yeah, I did too.
I want to, I liked it. I would go with a female too.
Yeah, I'm definitely going female for sure.
Well, like the Dubs, it's a sweep. I'm going female.
Cool, man. Anything else, man? Anything else? It was a great. We're excited. I know people have been saying, "Yo, this is going to be the most dopest episode." I can't wait because it's all of our reactions together and stuff. So, anything else you want to talk about about Cyberpunk, man?
I mean, it's going to be a long wait until it comes out. You know, I mean, they're probably going to go dark again here for a while before we hear anything else.
We're trying to get an interview, man. We're trying. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard right now. But if it happens, I'm in there. P said, I don't care what appointment I have. I'm going straight to.
I mean, for people listening to this, you have to take it from this perspective. It is literally the buzz of the show.
Yeah, hands down.
This game is on everyone's name or everyone's lips talking about it. You know, everyone's saying Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
In some form, be it the rumors, I saw the demo, everything.
Yo, I know a lot of people are excited for like Red Dead, and even if that game was there, I think Cyberpunk still would have taken over the buzz. Do you agree with that, Paris? You think if let's say Rockstar has a booth Red Dead's there, everything, and they show both Red Dead on that booth and Cyberpunk on the other meeting room. Cyberpunk, I think, would have gone.
Yeah, I think Cyberpunk gets it. Oh, look.
Oh,
You made it in there.
Cyberpunk. Wow.
Danny's in. Danny's showing up in on the Cyberpunk Twitter page.
Yeah. That was cool because when they started the presentation, they're fans of Boogie, the YouTuber. Yeah. And they started the presentation with the phrase that he starts, like this introduction and everything. And Boogie was like, "Oh, that's dope. That's dope. That's cool, man." He's like, "Nah, man, we're big fans, man." Yo, they got all excited when they got to see him. Yeah, he was sitting right next to us, man. And it's crazy because Boogie the whole time, because I'm like looking. I don't know if you noticed, I was moving around. I was looking to the side because I wanted to see people's faces, like their reaction, because I know you were hyped because you were moving around. But Boogie, he was the whole time smiling the whole time. So that was really, really cool. So anything you were gonna say something? Oh no,
I was just commenting that Mike Pondsmith was actually in the viewing that I was at.
Really?
Yes, the creator of the original
Cyberpunk.
Snap.
That is crazy.
So I was just while we're all talking about it, I'm just going through Twitter and socials, and I'm on the actual Cyberpunk Twitter page, and that's where it came up, and I saw the pictures of you guys, and then there's Angry Joe with Mike Pondsmith. So
that's cool.
Shout out to them.
Awesome.
Hey, one thing they didn't do this year that they did back in 2013 when we saw that Witcher demo, you remember? They gave everyone free copy of the game on GOG for the PC version. They're like, no,
no.
That's what they did back in 2013. This time they're like, no, y'all paying for that. We know this good. Y'all paying.
I have a question. I have a theory. I don't even know if it's plausible because obviously they're focusing on the game. Shortly after release of The Witcher 3, came out with a release for Gwent, an in-game. I know, but I'm saying, what are the chances? And here's my future Miss Leo moment here. What if we see another in-game, in-game meta game for post-release?
I hope not, and here's why. Gwent was a lucky accident that it happened. They just knew they needed a game to put in there, and so they wanted to put something in there. They had no expectation that Gwent would become what it was. That was just a little side project that a couple developers created. If they purposely are like, well, we're going to make another one and then we're going to spin it off into its own thing, I just don't think it'll have the same impact. Like, it won't have the soul. You know what I'm trying to say? So if it happens, I hope it's just a lucky mistake and it's not on purpose that they try to do something like that. But if they purposely try to make a Gwent 2 in Cyberpunk, then I think I'd be a little disappointed. I'm sure they'll have some kind of side games activities that you can do, but yeah, Gwent was just a happy, lucky accident when that happened.
I'm honestly speechless, and I know I hate that I have to wait, but I'm so glad that I got in there and I saw that gameplay, because that is honestly that 50 minutes or whatever it was. That was some of the best video game gameplay that I've ever seen. And I know it's super hyped to say that, but dude, it was insane, man. I've never seen a game like that before, and I really want to live in that world. I was wondering if they would put virtual reality in there, and I doubt it, but I would just have those goggles on all day just to walk around that city, man.
Well, thanks everyone, and then Paris, thanks for joining this episode, man. I know we planned this out even before E3. Even before they announced the game, Paris yo, don't say anything, no spoilers. I'm gonna go in there and just watch it, and once we get to the hotel, we're gonna record.
Yep, and that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, exactly like that, man. So yeah, everybody, thank you for listening to this special roundtable discussion about Cyberpunk 2077. Until next time, we're out.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.